And so Victoria, like when I met you, like we just were like visionaries. We just always talk and doing this, doing that. Hey, well I want to do this, and I remember you were helping me like flyers, logo. So I know you have a lot of brand awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your advice to someone who is trying to do what we're doing and create a brand for themselves?
My first piece of advice with that is to really, the first thing I would say is really understand your purpose and why you're doing what you want to do. Because the first thing that people connect with, they're not going to necessarily connect with your brand first. They're going to connect with you as an individual first. And before we got started, I know you were talking about a little bit about the networking. But that's one key piece of advice to remember is that know who you are, what your purpose is, and what you're doing, and sell that first, who you are as an individual, before you even sell the brand.
Wow. Okay. And I know that we've talked before. Like, so how do you feel like when it comes to building a brand? And I remember some advice where you gave me where I struggle with trying to be myself versus trying to be this overall articulate person. Like, how important is being authentic in building a brand?
It is very, very, very important. The best way to, if we're talking about selling, but the best way to get your message across is to be able to, you first relate to the message. So you can't relate to a message that is not authentically yours.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to be in tune with who you are as your authentic self. And sometimes, we start out on the wrong foot, but you can always revive yourself. But if you can start out really just being yourself in what you're doing and authentically putting your message together, that's really a great way and very important thing to do as you're building your brand.
Okay, when you talk about messages being together, and you're involved in Fashion Week, you looking nice today. And every time I see you, you got your hair done, and that's really what I like is you're promoting fashion, promoting marketing, and it gives you a professional look. How does someone get involved in mirroring what they want to do with who they are?
So my piece of advice for that is you definitely have to be what the message that you're trying to convey, and what you aspire to be. So a lot of people always say that you're very fashionable. It didn't always start out that way. If you ask those that are close to me, they're like, yeah, she kind of evolved a little bit. But if I'm going to work to push and promote fashion, I have to figure out how that relates in my own life. And so it just kind of came that way. And with the fact of pushing emerging fashion designers and the fact that we have so many independently owned unique retail offerings here in the Lynchburg region, well, if I'm walking around talking about fashion, I have to figure out where I can find it at. So, that was just a major part of really showing people. And whenever people ask me, well, where did you get this or where did you get that? I only shop in my region, which is Lynchburg. So that just reinforces the message that I'm trying to convey with it, which really coincides with that buy local, think local, shop local, support your local people, your local designers, your local stores here, which helps our economy as well.
Okay.